Recording. Okay, so we're back recording. So everyone, this is, for those of you who don't know, Rebecca Lorenz, who is the, she runs or leads the Ninja selling for mortgages for the Ninja selling people. And so I've been through that class, really enjoyed it. Jacqueline has been through it. And I think we've all pretty much read the book, Ninja Selling. So Rebecca asked, graciously offered to do this. I didn't ask her to do it, but once she showed me what she was doing, I was really excited to do it. So, and you're going to actually touch on a great subject today because I've already seen these slides. So something that we already do here, but we can always get better. So go ahead and get started, Rebecca. Thank you.
Perfect. Well, thanks for coming, everyone. I know that it's definitely a time of abundance. We'll say it that way to keep it positive. And there's some exhaustion.
We've been using that ever since you said it. We're swimming in abundance.
I'm swimming in abundance. Yeah, I've got some pretty funny GIF files of people like swimming, hands flailing. Yeah. Well, I'm a huge fan of Dave and Jacqueline. And so I reached out and wanted to create some value for each of you. I think this week's topic is really spot on as far as where each of us are at right now. And so it's mindset. I know right now there's a lot of business to be had. There is a lot of irons in the fire, a lot of people that need you every day, every minute of the day. And sometimes it's really easy to back burner our own self-care, our own mindset, our own emotional well-being, so to speak, because we're looking out for everyone else because the squeaky wheel maybe gets the attention. And so I'm going to be just about 20 minutes today. I want to encourage each of you as you're listening. This is all about you today, because one of the things I like to say is if you don't start your day with a full bucket, you can't give to others all day. And so really starting the day, filling yourself up, filling your mindset up with positivity allows you to be that person that can give all day. So mindset, impact on your happiness, your relationships, and your production. And I know this is something that maybe isn't top of mind to a lot of you right now, but I would hate for any of us to get 6 months, 3 months, a year down the road and look back and say, dang it, I really wish I would have put more attention here or here. So I want to remind each of you really the goal of Ninja Selling, and it's really different than probably any other sales course or speaker that you've heard from before, because the goal is to increase your income per hour so you can have a life. It's not just increase your income per hour and do more and more and more loans and do more production and work longer days and work longer hours. It's about how do you spend your day with such focus and being on purpose that you can actually spend your time so well that you have those hours that you're working are more productive and you have a life, most importantly, because I know I don't know most of you, but each of us have a why. Each of us have a reason, whether it's the production or the income or the life this affords us, which is amazing. I mean, I'm grateful every day to be in the mortgage business, but we're all doing it for something. And whatever your why is, that's what I want you to have more time for. So we talk a lot in Ninja about being on purpose. An on-purpose loan officer goes from A to B in a straight line. I know what I need to get done today. I know I'm here this morning. I know I've got to get here for this task or this day. And they're very strategic and on purpose in how they do that. What I found though is a lot of people in our industry are a little bit more on accident or reactive. And what this means is they still get to point B, they just take a lot longer to get there. It's a lot more hair on fire, high emotions are involved. What we've learned in Ninja is the on-purpose loan officer gets predictable results. They follow a system, they are strategic and on purpose in that system, and the results are predictive. On purpose, I mean on accident, now some of you might be feeling that way today or this summer. what I'd encourage you to do is just during our time together today is take a deep breath, take a step back and say, how can I be more on purpose in my day with my family, with my clients, with my real estate agents, so that in turn, my day is better organized, my customer service is spot on. And what I like to say is we follow the 80-20 rule, which is focusing on your vital few. I'm a big believer in you can't be everything to everybody. And I know that's hard for some of us to understand, especially those of us that are newer to the industry. I guess since I can see most of you, I don't know if you've heard of the 80-20 rule, but it looks like this. 20% of the trees give us 80% of our oxygen. And Vilfredo Pareto starts noticing this rule. 80% of the world's wealth is controlled by 20% of the people. Or my favorite is, in my closet, I wear 20% of my clothes 80% of the time. So there's this 80-20 rule that's going on. And this is what I've noticed, is that 20% of your activities that you do every day are giving you 80% of your results. So how do we kind of remove some of that noise, some of that chaos, focus in on that 20% that's giving us those 80% results and do more of that? That's how we find that work-life balance. I don't want anyone working more hours, longer days, longer weekends. It's how do I focus on that vital few? And one of the analogies that I'm a huge fan is, and Stephen Covey talks about this a lot in his book, he talks about how do you live a life filled with intention and to bring calm to the chaos. And there's this beautiful analogy. I hope you've had someone do this. I used to keep a jar actually on my desk, and it talks about when you fill your life or your jar, so to speak, with all the sand, which is all the little things, the emails and the voicemails and the chamber events and some of the little things, your whole jar gets filled really quickly. And then those pebbles and rocks, pebbles being maybe relationships with real estate agents, and rocks being maybe relationships with your family. You don't have room for them when you start your day or fill your day or your life with all the little things, all the disruptors. And so one of the other ways I look at pebbles is maybe things I need to do, things I need to get done. Sand is my daily tasks. And so if this jar is your life, it's your time, it's your energy, and you only get one, how do we live more on purpose? How do I start filling my jar with the rocks first? I'm going to eat dinner with my family every night. My rocks are my non-negotiables. It's my why. It's my vital few. I know that I will not miss my update calls once a week to my realtors and clients because those are my rocks. That's what, for me and for most ninjas, avoids the peaks and valleys in production. That's a non-negotiable for me. I make time for that. I time block for it, and I don't miss it. I don't miss dinner with my kids. I don't miss baseball games with my kids. What are your rocks? We're all different, but I suspect it coincides with your whys. And so as you're planning your day out, how can you kind of reshape your mindset and your focus to make room for what's more important, what your vital few is? One of the things that we talk a lot about at Ninja, and if you've read the book, you've probably heard a lot about this, is your emotional energy, your vibe. It's on two axes. You have high energy and low energy. You have negative to positive. And at any given point of every day, we're at some point on this grid. Now, understanding emotional energy is half the battle. Understanding that where I'm at on this chart, who I'm talking to, where they're at on this chart, and how to not only help myself shift, but how can I help someone else shift? I mean, are we in a business that there can be some really high emotions? I can feel through the phone when a real estate agent calls me and they're having high negative emotions. I suspect some of you can too. I can feel the emotion when a borrower calls and they think they're going to lose the house. So let's talk through some of these emotions. The high energy on the negative side is high negative. Some emotions you might feel in high negative is anger, frustration, I can pick up on this in person. I can pick up on this on the phone. In fact, if I'm in Starbucks walking by someone in high negative, I can feel it off of them without them saying a word. Low negative, sad, upset, depressed. I can pick up on these emotions. I just need to know and understand how emotional energy works. Now there's high positive. Like this is when we're feeling great. If I'm at my kid's baseball game, I'm probably in this quadrant. I'm happy, I'm ecstatic, I'm joyful. And low positive, I like to call vacation mode. I'm content, I'm relaxed, I'm happy. Now, each of these emotions, I said we're at any given time. As are our clients and real estate agents, our builders, our accountants. What's important for us to know is that we can be a transformer, a step down transformer. If someone calls you and they're in high negative, how do I get them over to low positive? I've got to go at a diagonal. For myself, and for a lot of people I know, I can get myself from negative to positive if I write a note of gratitude for someone. If I think about things I'm grateful for. For me, it's my mindset. If I'm working and I've already been at work at 8 hours and I've got 3 more hours to go, I'm frustrated. Why is every deal so tough right now? Why is everyone so cranky right now? I have to stop that. I have to shift my emotional energy because I don't want my clients to pick up on that. One of the things we do in the installation is we do a thing called a 10-second experiment. And you know what? I hope you'll try this walking around the office. In fact, it'll be kind of funny because you'll all get a little probably cheesy about it. If you smile at somebody for 10 seconds, research and science says there is like a 99% chance they will smile back. When I'm greeting clients, real estate agents, if I'm walking through Target, I love to do this experiment. I just smile. Usually within 2 to 3 seconds, they smile back. That's how you change the vibe in your office, on your team, with your clients, at the closing table, and it's free. It's an easy thing to change the entire energy in a room. In fact, Dr. Carol Dweck is at Stanford University. This is an amazing book. I always say this is probably, it's a business book. It's about mindset, how to understand mindset, how to change mindset. But what I like to share is it's probably the best parenting book I have ever read in my life. It taught me so much about how to parent my children in a way that they understand that their mindset shapes how they see the world. And this is what I mean by that. In her book, she talks about a fixed mindset versus a growth mindset. A fixed mindset is what we call victims. It's my intelligence and talent are fixed and I can't change it. Oh, it is what it is. Or I'll be walking through a mortgage company and I'll hear, oh, you know how real estate agents are. Oh, you know how borrowers are. I can't change them. Just is what it is. This is just how my process is. It's always tough. It's the thinking that you have no impact on changing circumstances in your life. Now, a growth mindset or mindset of a player, I can get better with hard work. I can get better through changes. Looking at a challenge or a pitfall, I mean, however drastic it is, looking at those as opportunities. If I fall on my face with a borrower, I'm embarrassed. I feel awful. So do I go down in the dumps for the next week, or do I say, you know what, I had a huge opportunity to learn here and I will never make that mistake again? We're gonna make mistakes. How your mindset translates that is the difference. Are you gonna be down in the dumps if you lose a loan, if you fail at something? Or are you gonna take that opportunity of what you've learned from? Now, mindset is part of your non-conscious programming, and we're not gonna have time to go into that much today, but I wanted to share these 2 takeaways with you. Abundance versus scarcity. And we've talked and laughed about abundance, but it's how you see the world. It's how you see other loan officers as your competition. Is it my deal or their deal? Is it my realtor or their realtor? Or are you a ninja and look at it at abundance? There is more business out there than I could ever do on my own. There is more business out there than any one of us could do. I just want to earn as much as I want. Now, a player versus a victim, the growth mindset versus fixed mindset, is how you see yourself. And I think these two things are really important because there's nobody that can change this for you but yourself. And so I hope each of you are thinking right now, how do I see the world? How do I see myself? And sometimes those of you that are parents, how you envision the world or yourself is sometimes passed on to our children. So kind of an interesting thing to look at there. How do you see yourself? What is your self-image, your self-talk? What do you say to yourself? Do you believe in yourself? Because changing that, changing your mindset, changes your happiness and your production. So the reticular activating system, and I talk about this a lot because I think it's the most fascinating part of the brain, about the tip of my pinky, base of my skull back here. And what it does is it's like my onboard Google search engine. It's always looking out for me and seeking out things that I'm thinking about, focused on, are either really important to me. Sometimes it's things I'm fearful of or scared of that I'm thinking about so much. It's scanning for it. And what we say is what you focus on expands. That's what your reticular activating system does. So those of you that are golfers, when I'm up to golf and I'm, getting set up, I'm looking at the tee box, at the green, I'm looking at the green, I see it in a distance, aiming for that, all of a sudden I see two sand traps on each side. And I'm thinking, don't hit the sand trap, don't hit the sand trap. While I'm focused on the sand trap, I go back, I swing, what happens? I hit the sand. In golf, if you've bought a new car, you've noticed this because the minute you start looking to buy that car, you start noticing them everywhere. Gosh, I love those new white Yukons, they're so beautiful. And all of a sudden, I've programmed it with my reticular activating system. What I'm focusing on is the white Yukon, and it expands. I see it everywhere I go. Same thing happens with referrals. It happens with our business. How's my team doing? Is everybody so grumpy and awful today and all my clients are a nightmare? Or is it my interpretation? Am I focusing on the negative? You can shift this in a few minutes yourself if you can catch yourself. Looking at the opportunities, the referrals coming in, the relationship opportunities and connections you have. So the good news is this, what you focus on expands. You can choose every day. I do it first thing when I wake up in the morning. What am I focused on today? What are the gratitudes I'm going to bring in? So I'm looking for things I'm grateful for. But this is the bad news. What you focus on expands. So this is the mindset choice that sounds really simple, I know. But this simple act can change your day, change your happiness, change your business. So this is my challenge, if you will, for each of you for the next week. Number one, write 3 things you're grateful for every morning. Even if you think, gosh, Rebecca's totally nuts, just try it. I mean, what do you have to lose? It'll take you 1 minute. You will start programming your brain. You will start programming your reticular activating system to look for things all day that you're grateful for. And you will start changing your programming. My second challenge is to time block for the rocks in your life. Whether it's personal, meaning kids' activities, family time, dinners. Maybe it's like, I'm going to go have dinner with friends 1 time a week because I have got to get out of this office. Great. Maybe it's your production side, your work life. Maybe it's, I'm going to make the time once a week to call my clients and real estate agents, update them, and just build a relationship. Those are rocks for me. Whatever it is for you, time blocking for the rocks of your life, I'd love you to pick 2. 1 personal, 1 professional that you're going to make time for this week. So that's all I have for today. Mindset is such an incredible, once you start understanding it and you're having one of those days that really could get better, understanding that you can change it and no one else can change it for you really puts that power back in your own hands. So thank you for your time. I hope you've enjoyed today.
I love that. That's a great message. The part of the ninja, I love the smiling thing, because I know that works, and you should all try it. It's fun because you can change the mood. You can do this virtually too now, like, because we do this so often where we're on screen like this, and it's become very impersonal because you can't look at somebody because you have to stare at the camera. So I always try to put, so Rebecca, you're right below the camera on my screen so that it looks like I'm doing my best to look at you. So we've lost that eye to eye connection because we're all looking, you're looking at me, but you're looking at my image, but you're not looking at me in the eye. And but you could do this virtually. Just having a warm smile on your face while you're on a call like this would change the mood of every phone call, right? So when you guys are doing your team meetings, smile. When you're doing any kind of a meeting with a processor or anybody, just give that a try. It's really fun to do it in person. It's actually really fun because it's amazing how quickly you can get somebody to just change everything about their face. And they just, especially now because of the mask wearing, at first it felt a lot like we've lost our, like some of our humanity was taken away from us because we can't smile. But actually you can tell when somebody's smiling, and I've gotten to where I'm commenting on it when I see somebody's eyes crinkle up because they're smiling so big. And it's like, I love that I can see your smile with a mask on. Thank you. And they're like, oh, thank you, because it's so nice. This is already tough enough. We don't need to do anything to make it tougher. The other thing I wanted to share was part of the Ninja 9, if you've read the book, part of the Ninja 9 every day is to write down 25. It's not Ninja 9. It's not 9 things every day. There's 5 things every day. I think now I'm going to butcher your Ninja 9 thing. So
no, you got it. 5 weekly, 5 daily, 4 weekly.
5 daily, 4 weekly. And one of those 5 dailies are write down your personal affirmation 25 times. I have to share this story. So, and then you're supposed to change it every 30 days, I think. And so at the beginning of this year, I'm like, yeah, I don't want to change it. I have a really specific thing and I'm going to just stay with this. So it's an income goal. And so I've been writing the goal, and it's the same number. And I've actually changed it to a monthly goal instead of an annual goal. And in June, when I got the P&Ls back from this is like, I far exceeded the number in terms of personal income because we closed 100. You guys did the work. I mean, I'm $49 million worth of production. And I was like, well, now wait a second. If this shit works, you'd be foolish to have a number that's too small. So I immediately recalibrated the whole thing, and I'm using that number, and I write that down 25 times every day. Your intentions, this particular activating system, it's a real thing, and you will create what you focus on, and it will expand. And so thanks for bringing this up today. I've been wanting to share that story, and this is the first time that I thought to do it. So good stuff. Very good stuff.
Awesome.
Anybody have anything else they want to throw in or add or comment on? This was really good, Rebecca.
Dave, I might just share quick 2 things to touch on what you shared. When you said get face-to-face via Zoom or whatever, it's been my experience as a loan officer is the person I least want to see face-to-face is the person I need to see face-to-face. Those high negative emotions that come out sometimes, if I can get on camera with them and smile, I can bring them down really quickly.
Absolutely.
The second thing you said was affirmations. And I know we can't have time to go into that today, but down the road or one of these weeks, if you guys want to learn more about that, the power that has in your life is so significant, and the stories that have come out of that one exercise, I think it'd be valid to really go deeper. And Dave, I could get you more slides on that, and you guys could do that.
Yeah, we could. If anybody, most everyone's heard of the book Think and Grow Rich. At the core of the message of that book is that type of focus on a future outcome, right? And daily affirmations is one of those things. These guys, that book was written about people that just focused on a daily basis on what it is we really want. And most of us we're just not intentional about it. And those guys were intentional. The people that they talk about in that book are very intentional about what they're focusing on, which is just then that reticular activating system kicking into gear. So stuff is real. That's what I like going, hey, if this really works, because it was a pretty freaking cool number. I was like, okay, the number's too low then, because if this really works. And so I'm having fun with it. So keep that in mind. The number gets bigger. Yeah, keep that in mind. Rebecca, this was awesome. Thank you. Thanks everyone for getting on. And I will have a recording of this in our Coffee for Closers folder on the Zenith Drive. So thanks everyone. Rebecca, thanks again. It was awesome.
Thanks guys.
Soon.